Welcome everybody to this short video introduction on how to use Skype for Business for conducting a webinar. So first of all, you need a time and a date for your webinar. As Skype for Business is a Microsoft Office program, it is already installed on most of our customers' computers, so they don't need a special plugin. The easiest way is that you open your Outlook calendar and create a new entry. So as you can see, I already put one test webinar into the calendar. We will just make a new one just to show you. So first of all, you select a time and a date. Actually, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the best days for conducting webinars according to studies. And also between 10 and 12 and 14 and 1600 are the best times. So we just take a time slot and we create a new Skype call. I'm using the German Microsoft version, so that's why everything here is in German, but in the English version, the icons are the same, only the description is a little different. So we select a time and we create a Skype call. Here we have to write a title, like in our case, it's the test webinar. We choose the participants we want to have in our call. We check the time. Times from 60 minutes to 90 minutes are actually quite perfect for a webinar. If it's much longer, it's not engaging anymore. If it's too short, it doesn't bring the value added which people would like to have. So I would really suggest 60 to 90 minute sessions. Down here, you can write a text like this is a test webinar. You can write a text, just describe a little bit about your webinar, what it's going to be. And down here, you have the link where people can join the Skype session. And usually this would be all, but in case we are hosting a webinar, we have to change some other settings as well. So up here, you find the icon for the meeting settings, which we open up. And here we have to decide who should be a presenter in the session. And the standard setting is that everyone in my organization is a presenter. This is what we don't want to have. So we click it, and now you have two options. You can either choose I'm the only presenter, or people who I choose will be presenters. That's what we're going to do. And here we then can choose the presenter we want to have. This is quite necessary, especially if you have a facilitator working with you in the webinar. This is also a recommendation that you always have someone who's joining the session, just in case there is something is not working out with technical issues, or to host the chat as well, because you will be quite engaged in the webinar. And also if there is something wrong with Skype, so maybe your session crashes, then there is a second presenter who can take over the presentation while you log back in again. Down here, we can deactivate the chat. That's what we won't do, because we want the people to be active in the chat, but we don't want them to talk, so we mute them, and we block their videos because we don't want to see them. We only want our video to be broadcasted. Here you can also change the language of the link. So if you want to have that in English or any other language, you can change that here if you use the German setup. And now the link is in English. That's actually it. Yeah, so we have all the settings ready, and now we can send out the invitation. When we send out the invitation, we will now go on with this here, which I already placed. And now we are up to holding the webinar. Before we do that, we have to go into Skype for Business and also check some settings there. So here you see the settings wheel, which you just open. And here we have to check the audio and the video settings. That's important. It depends on which kind of microphone or camera you're using. We are proposing that you use a webcam, an additional one, which is plug and play, because it's usually better quality than the built-in ones from the notebooks. And for the microphone, If you have a plug-and-play microphone, we would say you should use this one. If you don't have it, it's even better to use your headphones from your mobile phones than to use the built-in microphone from your laptop or notebook. So first of all, we check the audio. Here you see already, okay, I use the Rode Podcaster microphone. That's the one I plugged in on my USB port. And I can see it's working because the blue bar here is moving. I can also adjust the volume here. So if this is all set, I'm happy, audio is working. Then I check the video. For video, you now have the opportunity to choose different cameras. If you don't have any camera which you're using or which you have plugged in, there will be only the built-in camera from your notebook. That would usually look like that. You can see the quality is already a little different, so this is not the best way and not the best option we should use. If you have a camera which you can use for plug and play with USB, then this is the much better option. So I'm using a Logitech camera, which we are having as conference setup. Down here, you can also change the camera settings, for example, regarding brightness or contrast or whatsoever. You can just play around a little bit so that it looks nice. And this box has to be unticked. That's quite important because here it says your video is cropped, and we don't want our video to be cropped automatically, so it widens up and is being cropped when there are more people or any action somewhere around, then the camera is changing. That's what we don't want to have. So this box is always ticked and we untick it. And as soon as we have that, so we have the audio, the microphone is ready, and the video is ready, we can see ourselves. We untick this box, we can go on OK, and we are set for holding our webinar. So now actually time has come and we will be joining our session. So what we're going to do is we click the link, we accept everything which is coming up. So first of all, do you want to take part? Yes, I want to take part. And then we have, there we go, and then we have the session already here. At the moment I am the only one, of course, because it's a test. So what we're activating right away is the participants up here and the chat window. So you can already see all the participants are listed here and the chat is listed here. So you can already use that and maybe greet someone who is already in the room. Now it would of course be nice if you have your facilitator already joining, like a few minutes before the session, to check if sound and video is working. Down here, these are the important icons you need for hosting the webinar. First of all, that's the sound. If it's crossed, it's muted. Now it's unmuted. So actually now with my facilitator, I can have a check if the sound is working. Video, also quite easy. You always get a preview in the screen. You can start the video and there we are. So video is working perfectly. Sound is working perfectly. This is just about the speaker, not important. So of course you can always switch off video and also mute yourself during the course of your presentation if that's necessary. For example, when you are doing an exercise with the participants where they have like 5 minutes or 10 minutes to do something, you can of course switch off your microphone and your video. You can switch it back on just by clicking, and with the video you have to click on start my video again. So another important thing is that you are able to share documents or your screen within Skype for Business. So that's what we use, of course. You can, if you click here on this button, share your desktop or a special window. You can also attach files, and you can share a PowerPoint presentation. That's what we're going to do. Then it opens the Explorer and we just select the presentation we need. If you upload the presentation is uploaded in the file container of Skype for Business. There you always find it. So if you click here and you go on the file container, you already see, okay, this is the presentation. At the moment we are uploading the presentation. There is no blue bar yet, so it still takes some time. Usually the presentations are quite big, so give it some time. And here you can also check the progress, how it's going to work. If you upload anything and you leave the session and join it again, the files will be still uploaded in the session. So you don't have to upload it again. So for example, if you try out, you make a dry run and you upload the file already, and then 1 hour later you go back into the call, you don't have to upload the presentation again. You can simply go on the file container here and open your presentation from here. So now the presentation is there. You can see, okay, I can stop sharing the presentation up here. I can go through the slides. And also, if there is a second presenter, they have the possibility to take over the presentation up here. Okay, and if you're done, of course, you don't have to stop sharing the files, because you will most probably have a last slide of your presentation. Another very important thing is that you are also able to record your session with Skype for Business. So if you go on the setting dots down here, the first one is start your recording. And that's actually quite easy with Skype for Business, because you just have to click on it and now the recording started. So everything which is happening in the session, sound, video, presentation, chat windows, is now being recorded. Up here, you have the little recorded button. If you click on it, you can see that I am recording at the moment, and every participant sees the same button. So if they click on it, they also see, okay, Peter is recording the session. At the end of the session, it's quite easy. You just have to end the recording, which is also just a click as well. And then it will be in the file manager. So Aufzeichnungen verwalten, it says in German. This is like the recording manager from Skype for Business. And here are all the recorded sessions which I had so far. Here we see, okay, it's being processed. So as soon as it's finished processed, you can publish it, because it takes some time. You can publish it, you can give it a name and save it in the location where you need it and where you want to have it. This gives us the opportunity, on the one hand, to use our presentations and webinars for further use. Yeah, so we can give it to customers, but also we can give it to the specific customer if it's a customer related one, and they can implement it also in their LMS. Of course, the recording is not the perfect quality, so also if you need some post-production on that, you can just send it to us, and we can also go into post-production and cut it a little bit. So the beginning and the end can be different. There can be an MDI intro or outro, or a customer intro or outro as well. Okay, and that's actually it. So if you are done with your presentation, you can just end the call. You say goodbye to your participants, you end the call, you stop and save the recording, and then we are done. That's it. So if you have any questions, let us know. We are very happy to help you if you need any assistance in setting up a Skype for Business webinar. And yeah, enjoy, and thanks for being part of this short session.